We're told that getting rich is all about grinding away, getting lucky, or maybe inheriting a fortune. But what if it's none of those things? Today, we're going to break down the one single equation that really separates the ultra wealthy from, well, everyone else. Okay, so to really understand how wealth is built, we have to wrap our heads around scale. Let's start with a number that for most of us feels huge, $1 million. I mean, for a lot of people, that's the dream, right? Financial freedom, the house is paid off, total security. Okay, now let's multiply that dream by 10. Boom, $10 million. Now we're talking a completely different league. This isn't just about your own security anymore. This is about changing things for generations to come.
And at 100 million, honestly, the number almost stops making sense. It's just abstract. This isn't just cash anymore. This is the kind of force that can literally shape entire industries.
And then we get to this. $1 billion. That's 1,000 million. It's a number so big our brains can't really even process it properly. And the wild part? For some people, this is just the beginning.
So to put that into perspective for you, Jeff Bezos has more than 117 times this amount. Think about that. The gap between just wealthy and ultra-wealthy is absolutely staggering.
And then, way over on the other side of this massive canyon of money, there's most of us. And you probably know exactly what that feels like, right? It's like you're on a hamster wheel. You're working your tail off, but the high cost of living, maybe some student debt, it just keeps you stuck. Trying to save anything real feels, well, impossible. So when you look at that huge gap, it's so easy to just throw your hands up and think, man, this game is rigged, and I'm on the losing side. But what if it's not actually a rigged game? What if it's just a different game altogether? One with a totally different set of rules that no one ever showed you? What if there's an actual solvable equation for wealth that you just weren't taught in school? Okay, but before we can even get to the new rules, we have to unlearn the old ones. We have to debunk all those myths about money that are holding so many of us back. I mean, we've all seen it in the movies, right? The rich guy is always the villain. He's corrupt or entitled or just straight up evil. It's a classic stereotype. But let's actually look at the data for a second. So, contrary to that whole stereotype, a report from WealthX shows something pretty startling. Almost 70% of the world's ultra-wealthy, we're talking people with over 30 million bucks, are self-made. They didn't inherit it, they built it, often from nothing. Just think about some of the names you know. Warren Buffett, he started out delivering newspapers. Oprah Winfrey, she came from deep poverty. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, she started with just $5,000. Their stories prove it's not about where you come from or getting some lucky inheritance. So the big takeaway here is that it's not about your starting point. It's all about using the right equation. Which brings us to the big trap, the thing that keeps most people from ever even getting on the path to wealth. See, from the time we're kids, we're basically taught one simple equation. A job equals a salary. That's it. We're told to trade our time for money. But that exact equation, that's the trap. It has a huge, fatal flaw. And here's the flaw. It forces you to trade away your single most valuable resource, the one thing you can never, ever get back, your time. You are literally trading pieces of your life for dollars. I mean, just look at the math. Let's say you earn $20 an hour. You work 40 hours a week. It would take you almost 24 years to make $1 million. And that's before a single penny comes out for taxes or, living. You're trading decades of your life for a finish line that just keeps getting pushed further and further away. So, how in the world do these self-made wealthy people do it so much faster? Well, it's because they're not using that time for money equation at all. They're playing a completely different game with a different equation. And this is the core secret. The wealthy don't actually chase money. They focus on creating value. See, in our kind of economy, you get paid in direct proportion to the perceived value you provide to the marketplace. It has nothing to do with how many hours you clock in. It's all about the size of the impact you make. And you can break this whole idea down into a simple 3-step process. Okay, step 1, find a problem that people have. Step 2, create a solution to that problem. And step 3, and this is the absolute key, make that solution scalable. So what does scalable actually mean? It just means that your solution can help a ton of people without you having to put in more of your own personal time for each person. Think about it. A restaurant is not scalable. It only has so many tables. But a franchise of that restaurant, That's scalable. A personal yoga teacher is trading their time for money, but an online yoga course they record once can be sold to thousands of people, making money while they sleep. To build massive wealth, you have to deliver value on a massive scale.
But here's the amazing thing. When you finally crack this equation, the real prize isn't just the money. It's something so much more valuable.
Because let's be honest with ourselves. It was never really about the piles of cash, was it? It was always about what that cash represents. It's the freedom from worry, the freedom to make your own choices, the freedom to live your life completely on your own terms. That's the real goal, isn't it? The freedom to control your own time, to decide exactly how you spend every single hour of this one life you've got. That is the ultimate prize. So the question to ask yourself isn't, how can I make more money? The real question is, what problem can I solve at scale to buy back my time?